Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cackle. This is EntryPoint's weekly interview series where we highlight small businesses, startups, and people who are having an impact on communities across the Midwest. I'm Emily Heinz. I'm the founder and managing director of EntryPoint. At EntryPoint, we partner with economic development organizations and nonprofits to foster inclusive and vibrant communities across the Midwest through research and community-focused programming. So today, I'm so sad but happy. It's the last episode of our special edition of the Cackle, where we're specifically focusing on small businesses from across the Midwest. So over the past 6 weeks, we've featured 18 small business owners who have positively impacted their communities and contributed to the vibrancy of their local economies. And we really wanted to close this special edition out by encouraging everyone to continue shopping local, dining local, and doing business local. It's really important, even as we go into this next phase of the pandemic, to continue kind of focusing on shopping local. And we wanted to take a minute to thank our sponsors who have sponsored all 6 weeks of the special edition: DTE Energy Foundation, Lightship Capital, Jobs Ohio, World Business Chicago, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and the Wisconsin Alumni Research Foundation. So that's been really awesome. They've been so supportive in getting the word out and helping us raise awareness for the businesses we feature. So today is really exciting because I'm featuring some of my own favorite businesses that are near me in Ann Arbor, because I am the owner of EntryPoint and I do what I want. So it's today we are welcoming on TeaHaus, 24th Cheesecakery, and Rock, Paper, Scissors. So if you have any comments or shout outs, feel free to put them in the comments, and then also make sure to share the video. So as you all know, each week we viewers have until Friday to vote for their favorite business of the week. And then the company that's selected is then given $1,000 to support the growth of their company. The company selected from last week is Arachna from Taj Cottage was selected last week, and everyone was like, "Oh, I love her." I loved all those comments. So yay, congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Emily. I was excited as you are right now when you send me that email. So
yeah, it was so fun. And it was so nice to read everyone's because you were telling us about all the work that you've done, creating masks over the last 18 months, and then just your journey through starting your business and designing all of the clothes and teaching other people how to sew and stuff. And then it really came through in all the comments. People were just she is the best. She's such a giver to the community.
So yeah, as you know, it was a great success and helped a lot of people too. So that was, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, everybody who voted for me in Taj Cottage. Thank you to all my volunteers, supporters, fans, and family with all the support and love you have given me through the pandemic. And hey, Taj Cottage survived the 18 months of craziness. I mean, we're still in pandemic, but yeah. So thank you from bottom of my heart.
Yay. Yeah, and we'll catch up again in another month or so. And so I'm just going to be thinking about you over the next few months, especially as everything's kind of heating up again. Oh, Lordy. But cool. Well, thank you so much. And I will talk to you again soon.
Yep. Thank you, Emily.
Bye.
Bye.
So our first special guest joining us today is Lisa McDonald, who is the owner of TeaHaus in Ann Arbor.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. I'm so excited. And I think we might be on a little bit of a delay, so we're just going to kind of push through it. But TeaHaus is, for people who don't know, TeaHaus is a tea room and cafe that Lisa founded in 2007. They have over 180 varieties of really high quality tea, and most of which contain, they also have a home baked goods, which is like so tasty, which like contain tea and are made at the nearby bakery Eat More Tea that you run as well. And then Lisa is one, I didn't know this, but Lisa is one of 7 EU certified tea sommeliers in the United States. I was like, go what? How did I miss that fact? Yes. I like love TeaHaus so much.
So fancy.
It is so fancy. A sommelier is like, my gosh, that's like real fancy.
Yeah,
so tell like so tell a little bit about your background and like your business.
Yeah, so background is I'm originally from Colorado. After I finished my university or my studies at the University of Colorado, I wanted to go backpacking through Europe for a couple months because that would be really fun. And I accidentally ended up there for 14 years. I taught at the University of Tübingen, which ironically is Ann Arbor's sister city. At the time meant nothing to me, and here I am. In the beautiful sister city of Tübingen. And I also started a consulting company. So I did consulting for about 14 years, as well as teaching at the university there. But I met my husband, who is a Ukrainian that is from Ann Arbor. So where else does a good American girl go but to Germany to meet a nice Ukrainian American boy, to get married, have their first child in Sweden, and move to Ann Arbor. So that's kind of a weird little journey. But in that time as consultant, I did a lot of training programs for various companies, automotive, engineering, pharmaceutical. And one of my clients was the largest testing facility for tea in Germany. So they test for all pesticides, heavy metals, that type of thing. And I helped them design their tea sommelier training program for the EU, which is a 4-year degree program. And so moved back to America with this new baby and didn't really want to do consulting anymore. So I thought, oh, well, maybe I should open a tea store, seeing that I'm a tea sommelier. And in 2007, I gave birth to my second child, Andrew, and 3 days later opened TeaHaus. So I have a almost 14-year-old son, an almost 14-year-old business, and an almost 16-year-old son. So
and here I am,
still alive.
Yeah, still going. You're like definitely one of my favorite places. I've been like a big tea fan. Like even in college, like we would always, all my friends and I would like get together for like daily tea. And then when I first moved to Ann Arbor, a friend of mine was like very into tea, and she like introduced me to TeaHaus, and was like, we went there and we would drink our fancy tea and eat like our little sandwiches and stuff. And I was like, this is the best. I love it. It's like the perfect little spot too, like just to like kind of be cozy. So like, I guess what made you decide to start a business when you were like, just had your second child? Like, why were you like, okay, now is the time?
No, I basically signed the lease the same week that I found out I was pregnant. So it took 9 months to, build a business and to grow a baby. It just happened to turn out that he was born the same week I opened. But I've never been one for like that long-term planning type of thing. And so everyone always asks like, oh, how it must have been so hard to have a new store with a new baby. And I was like, honestly, the 2-year-old was the issue. The newborn was easy. I may or may not remember the first 3 years of his life, except that he was attached to me here at work. And I just decided that with consulting, I did so much traveling, and I really wanted to be part of this community. And the Carytown area of Ann Arbor, for those that don't know, we have the longest running farmers market in the entire country. Our farmers market's the oldest, longest running. It's a beautiful area, and it really reminded me of living back in Tübingen, again, our sister city. And I loved the feel of this area. So it was kind of like, if I was going to do something, it was going to be here. Really build up this community. And when I moved in, there were a lot of empty storefronts in this area, but I just liked being close to the farmers market, and I wanted my kids to kind of grow up in this community as well. So yeah, it just kind of all happened that way. And here I am almost 14 years later. And my boys still hang out in this community, and my store's here, and that's just I'm here in my house way more than I am at my home. So this is my house, both HAUS and HOUSE. So
I like that. So what advice would you have for somebody? Because I think right now they're kind of going through this like transformation of like a lot of people are kind of like, maybe I want to start this business that I've been thinking of for a really long time. Like, what would your advice to people be that are kind of like thinking about starting a business?
I think don't follow your passion. I know that's completely counterintuitive of what people say, but I think that obviously you have to love what you do, but I think you need to build your business around a solid business and not just a passion, because I think that we sometimes rush into it and like, oh, I'm going to follow my passion. And I'm like, yeah, no, you need a business plan. I mean, to be honest. So I think not just rushing into it because you want to do something new and different, but really understanding that, when people say, oh, how is it following your passion? I'm like, I work up to 16 hours a day and I absolutely love what I do, but I work and it's a lot of work. And I think that just don't rush into it. Just really know what you're getting into. And if you really do your homework in the beginning, you'll be here 14 years later, even through a pandemic.
Man, and talk a little bit about like the last 18 months, because you guys have been doing like, I mean, people who aren't from Ann Arbor might not know it as much, but like you guys have been doing like this amazing work in like feeding the whole community practically during the entire pandemic. So talk a little bit about like what's been going on the last 18 months.
Yeah, so basically because I have a commercial kitchen and like a restaurant, and in the beginning of the pandemic when that was shut down, I still had this kitchen space that I needed to use or wanted to use. And my children I grew up needing a free meal program for part of my life. And so when they announced that the schools were going to close, I kind of had a minute of panic because I realized that a lot of kids, their only meal might be that free school lunch. And so that was very important to me to make sure that, and I knew the Ann Arbor public schools and the Ypsilanti schools and the Washtenaw County schools would be able to do it, but it might have taken them some time. So I sent a text out to my entire staff that said, the minute they make that announcement, we're going to start our free meal program. So that was back in March of 2019. And then it has developed into also doing lunches as well as doing also hot meals. And we've been doing between 300 and 500 free meals a week. So my kids did the math and we've donated over 22,000 free meals in the last 18 months. And I just feel like that's been a better use of my kitchen. As much as I love my customers and want to cut off the crust of the cucumber sandwiches, I just feel like there's a lot of people who need to eat, anything. And so, yeah, and it's all been funded. My staff is amazing. I have an incredible staff. They were all here. Well, the core staff, I should say, were here the first day helping make sandwiches. And every tip goes to fund the free meal program. So it's completely funded by our customers and the graciousness of my employees, who then have said that those tips will go to our free meal program. So we're not going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, that's one of the things we talk about a lot too, just with like, we do research on like small business communities and kind of the impact small businesses have on their regions. And like, that is like, honestly, like one of the biggest things is that small business owners live in the communities where their businesses are. They like, they're serving their neighbors, like they're employing their neighbors and have this like really large impact on like the vibrancy of a local community. And like what your own community needs and are like so much more passionate about giving to your own community. So I think this is like a perfect example of that, of like, yeah, like you guys are like foregoing tips and things for your own employees or for yourselves because you're like so focused on helping the community out as well as running a small business during a pandemic. It's a lot.
But it's also kind of what kept us going, because I think in the beginning there was so much like uncertainty and it was very stressful. And I don't think I've used the word to pivot or the verb to pivot as much as I have, even when I was a consultant, I don't think I use the word pivot as much as often as I do now. But I feel like that free meal program is what kept us going Yeah, because in the uncertainty, the one thing that was certain is people need to eat. So that was like, it's honestly just what kind of kept us like from going completely crazy.
Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, that's so true. Like in the very beginning, just like those first like, 8 weeks or so, it was just like being like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? So talk a little bit about like what things you guys sell, and then for people who aren't necessarily like in the Ann Arbor region, like where can they go to like kind of purchase things? Because I want to make sure to like highlight, like you guys have some of like the best tea around, and so like if people are like tea fans, or even if they have like a family member they haven't seen in a while because of the pandemic, like they make great gifts and things like that. So like talk a little bit about like what you guys sell and how people can buy it.
Yeah, definitely. So we sell over about 180 teas. All of our teas are tested in Germany for all pesticides and heavy metals. It's the only country that requires that. So actually our teas surpass any of the US organic standards. I am, as you said, one of the only 7 tea sommeliers, so our collection is quite expansive. I also work with a lot of specific farmers, like with our sister city in the Shiga Prefecture of Japan. I've done consulting work there. During the pandemic, I was supposed to be in Nepal. I was supposed to be in Japan, helping out some of the small farmers that I source my tea from. Pandemic changed that a little bit, but we have, of course, all the teaware you can imagine: tea filters, tea strainers, teapots, so on and so forth. We ship anywhere in the world. I have regular customers in about 7 different countries. We also have amazing pastries. I have the best pastry chef, in my opinion, in all of Ann Arbor. We do French macarons, we do croissants, we do cakes, we do special orders. We've done a lot of special order, like smaller wedding cakes for more intimate like gatherings over the pandemic. So you can order. Unfortunately, we can't ship you French macarons, but you can always send gift cards to people here. But our tea and all of our teaware, we can ship anywhere, and we can definitely help you pick out specific teas and gifts for people that you're not sure. Or of course, a gift card.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. We'll put your website in the comments, but say it real quick just so people know where to go.
Yeah, so it's real simple. TeaHaus, TeaHaus, so teahaus.com. And on our website, you can find descriptions of all our tea. Also, we do tea tastings, we do Zoom tastings, that kind of thing. So you'll find all the information there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on today. And I love meeting you. I've been in your shop so many times and I'm like, celebrity. Okay, I will see you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. And thank you for having me on.
Bye. And next guest we are having is Sean Brezel, the owner of 24th Cheesecakery. I'm really pumped because cheesecake is so delicious.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate being on here. It's something that I just love being able to share the knowledge of our establishment. And I really appreciate you enjoying our product.
Yeah, I was like, I think it's a good chance for me to be like, have everyone when I see you in the store, I can be like, oh, hey, Sean, remember me?
No, that is super cool. I love that. I'm for the corporation. I'm only one for it, and I'm glad that they give me opportunity to, hire products. But it's so funny that you say that because it's not me that makes the products. It's our awesome baking team. They do a really great job.
Yeah, and you have 2 locations, right? You have one.
We have 3.
3. Oh my gosh! So where are all 3 locations?
We have the one inside Briarwood Mall in Ann Arbor, off of 94, and then we also have another one downtown Ypsilanti. We opened that one February, right before the pandemic hit, and then we just opened our store in Madison Heights, Michigan, off of 75, about 4 or 5 months ago, and
Wow.
it's cool because each store has a uniqueness to it. We're not going to be that cookie cutter establishment. We want to be able to provide a community in each location. And the best part about that is we can not only give it that atmosphere. But we can also bring in other local businesses to endorse their products as well. I know you have questions for me, but I'm just going to tell you, we opened a
No,
24
yeah, I
Cheese
love it.
Cakery solely because we wanted to try to help revolutionize the way businesses help small businesses grow. From being a small business to when we have 100 to 3,000 stores, we're just going to have the same concept and the same vision. It's kind of funny. I opened the store because I have a 2-year-old son that you might see running around. He's upstairs because he knows I'm on the call, so I got to go check on him once we get off this get off this call. But
Like a little too
my wife
quiet.
gave me the opportunity to quit my job, and 24 Cheesecake restarted.
That's awesome. So talk a little bit about like what you guys sell, obviously cheesecake, and kind of like, because you have a lot of like different kinds of cheesecakes and things like that. So talk a little bit about it just so people are like, oh, I get what they do.
Oh yeah, so we sell all from the classic plain all the way to now within the next month we're doing our holiday cheesecake, which is the sweet potato pumpkin latte, spice, peach, blueberry, apple cranberry. We also do another orange cranberry, and then we also have the cookies and cream, the caramel, hazelnut. We also do a hot chocolate cheesecake with marshmallow burnt on top. Yep, we
Ooh,
do that as well.
that's
We have
really
done
good.
tiramisu. Thank you. We have done churros. We do cinnamon roll cheesecakes. We do the Superman. That's the classic out here. That's our Madison Heights #1 seller. We also do any flavor cheesecake you can think of, from bubblegum to whatever you can imagine. We will do. Right now, we were inside of a restaurant in Arbor, and they had a signature drink, and we made a cheesecake
Oh,
out of their signature drink, and they topped it off with a topping, so it went so well together with their alcoholic beverage.
oh, that's
Um,
a really good idea.
yep, we also have a restaurant that's up in Michigan. They are big on the orange sickle cheesecakes. They're into the butter pecan cheesecakes. They're into white chocolate raspberry. Any flavor you could think of, we have made, and it sometimes takes a little bit longer to perfect the flavor, but hey, that's
Mhm.
just the art of creativity.
Yeah, that is really great. And then you guys have an event coming up where people can try a lot of different kinds of cake of
Yes,
cheesecakes.
yes, this
Because
will
yeah, like
be
I feel like a
our
lot of these, if you were like in a restaurant or like you were going up, you'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna stick to my favorite. So it's like good to like branch out a little bit and like try a lot of
yep.
things.
That's what we like to do. Get people to try something new. Event. We have done it last year. It's our third event, our second annual event, because we did it last year in Ipsy when things were coming down during the pandemic in August. Oh no, that was this year. Wow, time flies.
I know that's how that is. You're like,
And
what year was that?
yeah, I know. So it was last year in August because this is August now. So yeah, it was last year in August, and then we also did another one in Madison Heights. It was like our intro to welcome us to the city. We just want people to come in that never, been there during our store opening months to try some new things. And now we're doing it downtown in Atlanta, and it's kind of cool. For 20 tickets, you can get 3 cupcake sizes. You don't get a little bite size. You get a nice cupcake size, and you
Oh,
also
nice.
get to try our cake pops, which is we're gonna get into that later as well. But you get to try 3 different samples of cheesecakes, any flavor you like. New flavors, I don't even know of them yet. Only ones I know that we are gonna have is our holiday flavors. We're gonna have some pumpkin and things of that sort, just because people they feel comfortable with those. And
Yeah.
we also take requests when people purchase tickets. They take requests. We'll also be doing a raffle for over the next 2 weeks, giving away 4 tickets to our Flavor Rush event. And
Oh,
also, too, the
cool.
person that wins the raffle gets to also have a request of what flavor they would like to see there too. So I mean, we have
Oh, nice.
about 500 mini cheesecakes, and people can come in and pick the 3 they like and sit down if they want to hang out. We have chairs outside. We have a nice environment at the Ypsilanti store. It's really huge. And people can hang out, play with our little toys and stuff, sit down, go outside, sit down, enjoy the weather, and enjoy
Yeah.
some cheesecake.
Yeah, that's awesome. Where can people go to find more information out about that event?
You can check out we're big on our social media. Our Instagram is 24 Cheesecakes, 24THCHEESECAKES, or you can go to our website, www.24cc.com. I kept it simple, 24cc.com. The 24th comes from my birthday being July 24th, my grandmother's being September 24th, and my mother's being June 24th. So that was just a pretty cool way to
Oh,
put that together.
Man, I should have asked that. That would have been a good host would have been like, where did you get the name for your business? I just like go right over there. I'm like,
It tends to come up all the time, so I just make sure I put it out there. It's so funny. Before we started the business, we did a radio show for Jamie Morris. He played U of football over at TKW 1050, and I did that for 3 years, 2-3 times, 2 or 3 times a week. I go in there, so I'm kind of like anticipating the next question.
That's so funny. Yeah, anytime we have people on that are like real, like talk show hosts and radio hosts and stuff, I gotta sit up a little straighter. I gotta be like, okay, be serious about this.
No, it's all love. It's all love, man. My 2-year-old being with this kid. My wife said, Sean, go ahead and quit your job. Start the cheesecake store at Broadwood Mall. This is something that we just, happened overnight. We did a Girl Scout fundraiser for the last 6 years, which is really cool because it gets to, it raises money for Girl Scouts to go to be part of a Girl Scout. And our cheesecakes. And the best part about it was they give you all the cookies you want. So, trade cookies for a nice little fundraiser. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's really good. That is like you should start a business just to get those free cookies. That's like a good idea.
I just did the same little interview with them a couple of days ago, and I told them I would love to do a fundraiser with them again. Our store, because one thing about our store, other than just cheesecakes, because we sell a large wide variety of cheesecakes, we ship throughout the United States. You can also purchase through the website, the way we ship our cheesecakes as well. But the best thing about it is sharing our knowledge. We're able to provide a platform for other people to not only get their business off the ground, but to give them knowledge as well. I met with my team members the other day, and I asked them to create a 6-month vision. And I know, it's not something where it's like an hourly wage will consist you to go home and do some extra, but they understand our business model, and I think our employees are our number one customers, We have to make sure that they are able to create a great product, and we don't want that product to be dwindled by having bad employees. We want people to come and enjoy the products that our employees have produced, and I think having them create a vision for what they want to accomplish in our business is something that we can help them grow and also become more efficient in what they do, because they come up with the flavors. I don't want to lose them. I want them to leave our establishment and say, you know what, we came up with good flavors, but we also create a good vision on our life and how we want to grow a business. And I think that's what our business is totally based around: great cheesecakes, great people, and just an idea that's going to become something where people can think is going to, last the test of times. And anytime it gets rough with the COVID or anything else that may come up over the next couple of years, we're strong, because not only do we have a great product, we have great people that really want to make sure that, we can build a cathedral and not just build a brick road,
Yeah. What is your plan for like the future? Like, what's your next few years look like?
My next 2 years of life is we have our 3rd location, and we want to open up at least, before the pandemic, we were going to open them 3 every year, so that kind of cut back. So where we're at right now is our vision is to, as of right now, take the 3 stores that we have and turn those into what we will call our educational systems. We want to be able to provide even that I don't know if you've ever been to that location, but
I don't think I have. It's like funny because we go there a lot to go ice cream, and I'm like, oh, I wonder where.
We're right next door.
Oh,
we're right across from Bobcat Bonnie.
No, I have walked like right there and been like, ooh. But it was like the thick of the pandemic and we had our kids with us. So then I was like, okay, just like go get the ice cream from the window.
Oh yeah, no, it was funny. So we're in the corner. We're right next door, across from office, open office. I can't remember the name of the place, but we're across the street from Bobcat Bonnie's in that little tent. And we're going to be turning those establishments, the mall. Regardless if we stay inside the mall or not, this is going to be our first location. Come in and get cheesecakes, have a good time. Our Ypsilanti store, we're going to be setting up business seminars where you can come in from the community for free. You can come in from wherever you want to come from and come in and listen to some good people talk. I've been mentored by some really great people, including my mother and my grandmother. And I really want people to know that you do not have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars or even spend thousands of dollars to learn the education of business. Listen to some great people. I didn't last too long in college. I went to culinary school for a couple of years, and I said, you know what? I graduated with a 1.9 from high school. trying to go to college. I need something that I can love to do and something that I can create. And cheesecake was the thing. Baking was the thing. You know, not only do we make cheesecake, we make everything, but cheesecake pays the bills. And I just want something. And it wasn't about the passion. It wasn't about the drive. It was more so of, you know, what can we do to leave carbon imprint in this world? And if it's through selling cheesecakes, why not? So that takes me to my cake pops. We, the company that's run, or the business managing partners that's running our Madison Heights location, they make cake pops, cheesecake tacos. They also make mochis, cheesecakes, the little mochis, the frozen mochis with the cheesecakes inside of it. And that's what they do. And so we opened up that store to highlight them. You know, cheesecake's gonna sell. We're gonna get rich on selling cheesecakes. But now we're able to bring in a different business of goodies because a lot of businesses, they feel like, oh, somebody suggested, now I gotta make it. Now I gotta make it. Next you know, the cheesecake quality goes down because I'm trying to make chocolate cake, you know? So with them going to come in and highlight their products and us partner up and not have their business, and later on the road they can either sell it back to me or they can just stick with it and open another business and always have some income coming in from the behind. I really feel that is where our goal is, you know? It's something that you don't see a lot. You know, when you see a business, when you see a franchise, it's all they got to look the same. You know, Lil Sean want to say hi. Say hello.
Hey.
Say what's up. They want to look the same. And this guy, he's, man, without him, he'd be here. But they want to look the same. But we don't want that. We want to be able to have a unique body for our business. Madison High School we're turning into is going to be our little sports spot. You know, we're doing tailgate. September 12th for the Lions. You know, they can't do the tailgate down at the Eastern Market. So we said, hey, no, we got it. Let's do a tailgate down here. And that's the whole vision that the guy and his family that's running the store wanted to create. And why not do it by selling cheesecakes and K-pops and other goodies and sweets?
Yeah, I love that. So what would your advice be to somebody right now who's kind of was in the position that you were in where you were like, okay, I'm going to take the leap? And like, what would your advice to them be?
Have a vision and stick with it. That's all it is. Have a vision, stick with it. A vision is a roadmap. And either it's going to put you in a position to do good, or you can stray from your vision and say, why did I do that? You know? So having a great vision is something that can allow you to, you know what you want to do.
So good. Know? If my son was in here, my son's 2, my youngest is 2, and he would be like, ah!
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. He likes my earpiece. But have a vision, you know. Me and Shine, we've been together for the last 2 years every day. Some people say, how do you bring him to work every day? Because we was at the mall. And when the mall doors open, we end up down at JC Penney's in a heartbeat. That's how fast the kid is. It's crazy. But it's having a vision creates an opportunity for you to know what you want to do and what you don't want to do. And share your knowledge. Give somebody opportunity. You never know who you're talking to. You could have given somebody opportunity that in a year from now become this individual that can really catapult you to where you want to be. Or you can just say that's a good person and bring you great people. You know, so just having a vision, sharing your knowledge, and stay consistent. You know, we all mess up. You know, a couple weeks ago, we had 3 complaints in one day. we never get complaints. But it's about how we handle those complaints and stay consistent to what we're doing, which, you know, keeps us in business, keeps all 3 stores thriving. And the best of all, I get to be with Little Short Man all day, every day. You know, I'm about to get some drink in 2 minutes, you know. So I'm a dad, you know. Not too many dads get this opportunity, you know. So the fact that my wife was like, Sean, quit your job, let me take the reins for the first year. And now that, now we're able to start contributing more financially to our household. And, you know, sometimes if you go for the money, you're going to go broke. If you go for the love and the respect for what you do, you know, now I'm able to pay the rent, pay my phone bill, man, pay all the bills around the house. We're able to do stuff that we want to do, all because she gave me 1 year to not only be a great father to my boy, but to grow our business.
Oh, that's great. Man, that's heartwarming for the day. I like starting a Monday like that. Heartwarming stories. My gosh.
It's all true. The support. If you, and I'm so sorry. But support is another thing. You can have $1 million, but you don't have the support to do it. When I come home, I talk to my wife, and after she says, Sean, we're gonna be okay. That's what you need. You know, that support goes a long way. From my mom, my grandma, my dad, everybody. The support is big.
Yeah, that is so true. I so agree with that. Some days it is like you get the 3 complaints, you get the, you know, like like there's rejection from over here, and you got to get that therapy lesson from your spouse, like, or that therapy from your spouse, and be like, is everyone crazy or am I terrible? And they're just like, oh no, you're doing fine. Like, F them, they're stupid. And you're like, yeah, that's right, they are.
Yep. You out of nowhere, you'll get a 1-star review from someone who's never been to your location. You're like, and I share my family. So my family has a group chat. You know, my brothers, my mom, my dad. Like, y'all look at this. Like, what snipers out there? Like, what do we do to them? You know what I'm saying? And you need that at home. You know, if you don't get that at home, you're in trouble because now you're stressing home and you're stressing the business, and business is like a marriage. You know, you got to put your all into it. Every day I got to give 200%, 300% if you count short man. You know, so you got to give it your all. And you know, tell my wife all the time because you know I don't really take a day off. I kind of get a day off. Like today, I do want to come around and give those ladies some cheesecake. You know what I'm saying? It's really a good opportunity to have came on here with some great people. And, you know, you hear about these businesses, but you never really have the time, unfortunately. I know they understand. But now today, I'm going to meet them and really be appreciative to be in such a good company.
Yeah, that is really good. Well, that's so cool. I am like super excited to eat cheesecake again soon. And then thank you so much for like taking the time this morning. It was really exciting to meet you. I'm like,
Thank you, you too. I know emails don't do justice. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, I will hopefully see you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Oh, awesome. So before we bring on our final guest, I just wanted to remind everyone that after today's episode, our viewers will have until Friday to like and share the video and then vote to select one of the featured companies to receive $1,000 from us, which will be so great. So our final guest of the day is Lisa Madison Roberts, who is the owner of Rock, Paper, Scissors. Hey, yo! I should have like welcoming music on or something.
We should. Confetti. Okay, so you're killing me because I have to follow a guy that just talked like I was taking notes, talking about support. Like I feel like he was my therapist for the last 20 minutes. And then Lisa, who like fed our community and was such an inspiration during the pandemic for me. And I'm supposed to follow that. I saw mugs that tell you to like get your ass up or like, you know, have swear words on them. So
I know. Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm like, we can swear a lot on this show.
Okay.
So we can just like start like
okay.
saying whatever.
I was like, thanks for that. You really set me up here.
Okay, so a little bit of background. So Rock, Paper, Scissors is owned by Lisa. You started in 2011, so you've been doing this thing for a bit. It's like, I want to say we wrote unique gift shop, which is maybe from like your about paragraph, but like really that is like the best description, like unique gifts. So it's like there's like stationery, home goods, like funny greeting cards, sensible, snarky gifts, like there's like Michigan stuff, like Midwest stuff. It's like super eclectic, but it's all like really good. Like not one of those stores where you're walking and you're like, how do you, what, there's so much stuff. It's like really well curated. So like, I'm just like, and it's been awesome because you guys do like those custom gift boxes, which have like saved my ass a bunch of times.
Oh,
like awesome. I was like, what do you get this person? And then you'd be like, custom gift box from Rock, Paper, Scissors, the end.
Good. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that those have been popular. Yeah, no, we have so much fun. Basically, I do all the buying. So I go through and think like, if I was to receive or give a gift to, and then I like list all of the weird random people in my life, like, would I have something to give all of these people? And if I can check a box and I feel like the store is in a really great place, then we have all of the things that we need to be successful. So it's kind of our.
You guys do have the most hilarious cards too. Like there's some funny cards you see that like at places where you're like, okay, this card's trying too hard. But like your guys, like I'm like, you must be actually really funny because I feel like all of the cards, I'm like, this is really clever.
Yeah. So my parents, I went to Notre Dame for undergrad. I was a history and political science major. And when I was like, I'm going to go to law school, I remember the look in my parents' eyes, like, she's not going to law school. Like, this is this is not what she's doing. And I've heard them tell their like friends as an adult, like, she's doing exactly what she should do. She's found a way to mix comedy with pop culture and like current events. And we never knew that that was going to be something that she'd find a way to kind of combine. And I'm like, I did that. I did.
Yeah, it is really funny too that your parents would be like, at law school?
Like,
are you sure? Like, my mom would be like, you're going to law school? So like, that's amazing.
Yeah. No, they were like, you know how hard that is, right?
Yeah. So why did you decide to start rock, paper, scissors?
Well, because I didn't go to law school. No. So I went to Notre Dame, and then after college, I actually worked for corporate Target, corporate Starbucks, Bank of America. I ended up getting my my MBA. I did really love, like I was in some consulting roles in buying, but on the corporate side of retail. And I loved the people side of business. And I loved that there was like no 2 days the same in the world of retail. But I really hated how stuffy, like in Target, you don't get to be creative. In Bank of America, you're not creative. And I remember, sitting in conference calls, dreaming up, if I had a store, this is what it would look like, or this is the mix of products that I would have. And I actually worked at the Bank of America, or one of my offices was the Bank of America on Main Street in downtown Ann Arbor. My main office, I was a vice president of a consumer market manager. So I had all of the banking centers in Michigan reported to me. And so I would stop by all of these banking centers, but I walked by the Main Street location that was once 16 Hands, which is now my rock, paper, scissors location in Ann Arbor. And I used to play this game, and it was like, if the for lease sign is still available, I'll call. For lease sign would be available. But like next month, if the for lease sign is still available, when I walk by, I'll call. And I went through that for like a year. And finally, my husband was like, shut up about the for lease sign in this space. Call the damn number.
Yeah.
Either do it or don't. And actually, that's kind of become my mantra. Like, go and do it or don't. Like do it or just like stop talking about it. Be about it. Or just, nobody wants to hear it. And so, so we called, and that was kind of the end. It was, I signed a lease, quit my job, and that was 10 years ago. So here we are. Yeah.
What advice would you have for other people who are kind of like in the corporate cogmobile?
Gosh, I mean,
think about getting out.
I think like, that's a really short version of like a lot of things that led up to that. I mean, like I did some pop-ups out of my basement. I didn't just like one day say like, hey, 6-figure job, bye. I am a very calculated person. So I would say like, I'm not saying don't, throw caution to the wind, do it, abandon, who cares about your bills? You can do anything. So I had a lot of faith and trust that this would work, especially in Ann Arbor. But I did have a very solid business plan. Business school, I loved business school so much. My favorite thing to do, and I do it for friends all the time now, is help them with SWOT analysis and business plans. Like nothing gets me excited more than writing a business plan and coming up with
that's a real lawyer talk right there. Oh,
I mean, come on. Like, you want some strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? I'm your girl. I can come up with them all day long. And so I feel like I was really, really planful about that. So I do think like the first step is always having a solid business plan. But after you've done that and you've done your research, like I think my best piece of advice to people is that the timing is never going to be right. Like it just isn't. And I kept telling myself as I walked by that for lease sign, like, the timing isn't right. We had just had a baby at the time that was born with a congenital heart disease who ended up having to have open heart surgery. She's 10 and went to 5th grade today, and she's awesome. But I remember thinking like, it's really irresponsible. We don't know what's going to happen with Maddie, but the timing was never going to be right for me to follow my dreams. And so I just think like sometimes you have to understand the timing is never going to be right. But if you have a plan in place, you just got to go for it. We're opening a new kids store. Is the timing perfect to open a toy store in the middle of a pandemic when there's shipping containers lining, the coast right now, and nobody knows if they're going to be able to get merchandise for fourth quarter? No, the timing isn't right. But do I feel like we can do some really awesome stuff at the toy store in the Ann Arbor, Saline area? Hell yes, I do. So we're going to go with it. So I think it's feeling your gut and just knowing that the timing may never be right. And you just got to kind of go with it.
Yeah, that is like that timing thing. That is so true. It's funny that Lisa and Sean and me and you all had like kids right around the same time as starting the business. And it's just kind of like, well, add to the chaos, whatever. Like,
seriously. I do think it takes a special kind of person to be able to like thrive in the chaos of business. And so like having a kid is chaotic anyways. So why not just add that to the mix? Like you can't control any of it that's happening anyway. So what's a kid going to do? Just add to it,
And they like sleep a lot in the beginning anyway. So at least that's what I tell myself. But I had a lot of friends who were like, are you sure about that? All the things? Like,
I opened, we had a home store for a while called Bed and Butter, and I opened that with my, it was across the street. It was in where La Belle Maison was for a while. And then our landlord in our Ann Arbor store let us expand. So we kind of just combined the two. But I had a baby when we opened that. Like I opened it on like a Friday and I had a baby the next Wednesday. So
that is really funny. Why did you, I'm going to go off of Sean. Why did you name it Rock, Paper, Scissors?
Oh yeah. Okay. So this is awesome. So, I am hands down the most competitive person that you will ever meet. It's true. So my husband and I played rock, paper, scissors for who said vows first. I don't actually know like who won or lost that or like who would be the winner or loser, but we play rock, paper, scissors for everything. So
no,
like,
you say nice things
you
to
go
me
first. But so like we played it forever, and it just was kind of one of those things. It seemed to kind of fit what we were doing. We were doing stationery and fun games and gifts, and it seemed to work. So, and actually, now I've found out that there's some hair salon places that have opened rock, paper, scissors, like in different areas. And so people will call and they'll be like, hi, yes, I'd like to make an appointment for a haircut and color tomorrow. And I'm like, you don't want me to do that. And they're like,
you'd be like, come on in.
I'm like, wrong location.
So you mentioned the store that you're opening in Saline. What is that going to be about?
So it's just going to be it's called Rock, Paper, Scissors Junior, and it's going to be a toy and kids store. No baby gear, no clothes, like really just fun games and gifts and toys. Cool. So like we have Lego coming, Playmobil, which is like my kid's favorite thing in the world. Some really great imagination and learning games, tons of books. Just a lot of really great things. Like in Ann Arbor, our Learning Express closed.
Yeah.
So kind of a rock, paper, scissors version of that. If rock, paper, scissors was family friendly, this is what it would be. So
yeah, that's cool. I like that. It's pretty family friendly. I was in there like last Friday, like a week and a half ago or something.
Yeah.
What day is it? I don't know.
Who knows?
I'm not sure. But I was in there with my mom and she was like looking at all your Midwest stuff, and she just recently moved to Ohio and was just like, I need more Michigan stuff to show those Ohio people. And I was like, oh gosh.
Like, I got you covered. Yeah. The funny thing about rock, paper, scissors that I didn't realize, and we have so many swear words in that store and so many wonderful mugs. And I've always kind of been like, this is just who I am, until my kids could read. And I've always laughed because I've kind of been like, so don't bring your kids in. And then now both of my kids can read, and they come into the store with me and I'll be like, look away, children, look away. You don't realize, like all these moms, all these years, like complaining, where I've been like, I'm sorry. They're really funny mugs. I could have a whole store of swear words. And now I'm like, I'm really sorry. I feel like I should apologize to a lot of people.
It's funny because I'm like, I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, well, 4, almost 5. And I kind of am in the camp of like, well, wouldn't you just teach them when to like use the word or not use the word? Like, I'll just wait until they're like 8, and then I'll probably be on the bandwagon of like, why are there so many swear words around?
Right. Yeah. So like they know not to use them, but they'll be like, look, Mom, there's that word. And you're like, who bought this? Who chose to put?
Or certainly like, not me.
Certainly not me. The moms over the years that have been like, why is this child height? And I've always been like, I don't know. I'll talk to the manager. Who's me? And I'll be like, I'll make sure to bring that up.
The owner, you're like, the owner is crazy.
Right. I haven't seen the owner in months. I'll make sure to leave her a note. so like if this could be my formal apology, I'd like to use it.
So funny. I also like that I can see Lisa and Sean down at the bottom, and they're both just like laughing about the things you say. I also like how it looks like we're maybe in the same place because of the pictures, except you have like 100 blankets, and then I was like,
it gets cold. It's so cold.
It's like, how come you have blankets and I have nothing? No blankets.
Because we were the weirdos that during the pandemic moved from our house and bought an 1865 farmhouse that either is 972 degrees or negative 972 degrees. So you never know. So what you can't see is the 92 box fans that are possibly blowing at me at any time, or the blankets, because more blankets or less blankets, you never know.
Oh my gosh. So do I have any questions for you? Since I haven't asked any. Okay. So this is something I wanted to find out is like kind of how has the last like 18 months been, and like how are you feeling going into kind of like this next phase of the pandemic? Like to me, certain people are like, the pandemic is ending. Small business owners seem fine now. And I'm like, pardon moi. We're not fine. We're not good. We're bad still.
Yeah, no.
How are you feeling?
I'd like some like one-on-one time with those individuals.
I know.
Okay, like as I mentioned, like being so competitive, like I do feel like the pandemic, I kicked it into a gear that I didn't know I had. Like I worked 18 hours a day, and I was not going to lose my business due to something that was outside of my control. And I am super proud of how we all responded and how we are still standing and growing and found ways to serve our customers and help people celebrate really shitty situations, but like find joy in that. And that's something that like, I mean, seriously, like I didn't know we had that in us. And that is something I will always be like next level proud of, from creating quarantine kits and those gift boxes like you talked about. That was awesome. Now, like shipping 18 hours a day, that is not something I hope to ever do again. I do think that like I'm in a couple different retail groups, and we've all been talking about how our marketing plans moving forward should probably look more like the last 18 months than they should look like 2019.
Yeah.
Like we should all be ready to pivot. There it is, Lisa, pivot. Pivot back to pandemic marketing, and that I believe our customers are going to want to continue to shop the way they want to shop, or that we've like trained them to shop for a long time, which is going to be curbside. It's going to be local delivery. It's going to be really, you know, these ways we've trained them over the last 18 months, boxes, and, you know, them texting me personally. So you know, so I think it's going to be that elevated level of service for a while, which I'm ready for. I don't love it. It feels it's a lot. And I think there's that pandemic fatigue is real when it comes to that level of service. But again, like I'm pumped that we're here. I'm thrilled that I get to still be on Main Street in Ann Arbor serving our customers, because if you've walked Main Street, it's very different, and it's going to continue to shift and be very different. I just saw on M Live that Carol Rhoda has not renewed their lease come January. So that's another local gift store that is headed out. They're another like kind of like us, like a gift store across the street, kind of by Shinola.
What was the name of the business?
Zero Rhoda.
Oh,
you know, it's like the magnets, and they have like gift store.
Oh, yeah.
They've been there longer than we have.
Yeah.
I think they're 14 years. So I think it's just, I think if there's like go time, we've never let off the gas. It's still time to go. So
yeah, it definitely. I think it's like that comparison of like marketing plans being more like the last 18 months than prior to the pandemic is like does seem pretty right on. And it just does seem like it's like this evolution of like people, the same as like in social situations where you're like, oh, like some friends are totally comfortable getting together. Some friends are like, we need to be outside. Some friends are like, what pandemic? Some friends are like, how dare you ask us to get together during the middle of a pandemic when we're probably definitely going to die if we all get together kind of thing. And you'll be like, I don't know how to navigate. And then it's like plays out in like every possible way of like interacting with clients, customers, whoever.
Right. And with multiple locations, like, all right, so do we do a big Black Friday bonanza like we normally do? Do we not do it in Ann Arbor because the Ann Arbor people are just a little bit more sensitive? Do we do it in Saline because maybe they're less sensitive? Or do we just say, you know what, this is all going to be virtual this year? Or do we say like, hey, kids are in school, it's all okay? We've been erring on the side of just being as like cautious and sensitive as possible because that's where we believe and where we just want everybody to feel safe and because we are offering so many different ways to shop, there shouldn't be an issue. You know, if we can offer other ways, I get it, you know?
Yeah, that's what we've heard from a lot of like different types of small businesses is like they're trying to like stress the like their abundance of caution because they're like the second like someone feels like your organization's like not safe, then they're like, oh, like this is just banned from my shopping experience for the next like 2 years or something until the pandemic is over because they don't think it's safe there. So it's like, it is like interesting.
We joked, we're like, we're the Burger King of gift stores. We're like, have it your way. You want we got you. You want to come in? We got you. Like, we're like, is Burger King still a thing? Did we just do that? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that is really funny. The Burger King of gifting. That is so funny. Yay. Okay. Where can people go to buy things?
They can buy things at rockpaperscissorsshop.com. Now that is 2 S's in the middle of that. So it's rock, paper, scissors, SCISSORS shop, SHOP.com.
Cool. I'm also going to put all the links to like TeaHaus, 24th Cheesecakery, and Rock, Paper, Scissors like in the comments on Facebook. So people, why am I blurry? I'm like a ghost.
But can I just make a quick pitch? I think the things that the 24 cheesecake with the education and Lisa are doing with the free meals are just so freaking awesome. I was sitting over here fangirling, and I think that I hope that
I was like, I'm putting them up.
We are paying attention. What?
Lisa McDonald, you're on the internet. I was like, she doesn't know.
I was actually trying to figure out how to tag you guys because I'm so illiterate on how to do things on. I'm like, I gotta tag these guys. They're so awesome. And I was trying to learn how to tag.
Dude, the amount of meals that you have given away is insane. And seriously, it gave me life during pandemic when everything was going to shit. To see how hard you were working was just so cool. So really kudos to you. And thanks for being such a leader in our community.
Oh, yay. Yeah, I am so excited. I'm like inspired.
Yeah.
This is a good Monday. Okay. Well, it was so nice. Well, I'll put all the tags like in the comments. So if you share the video and then people go to the video, then they can see the tags there. So we'll just like do a workaround.
I can't figure it out.
I can't work the phone and you're on a delay. It's just like so funny. Well, thank you all so much for being on today. It's so exciting. And I'm so excited to see you around town with our masks on and so on and so forth. But yay. Okay, I will see you all
soon. Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
I'm bringing out cheesecake.
Oh, yeah. Yay. So big thank you to TeaHaus, 24th Cheesecakery, and Rock, Paper, Scissors for joining us today. I keep being blurry. I don't know why. And thank you also to DT Energy Foundation, Lightship Capital, Jobs Ohio, and our other sponsors from across the Midwest for supporting our special edition. This was the last episode, so I'm like, tear. Thank you all so much too for like continuing to tune in every week and share the video and make sure you give a lot of visibility to the businesses that we have on. And remember to select your favorite business from today. You just need to share this episode to help spread the word. And then you can submit the name of your favorite business using the link that's in the description of the video. So the voting link will be open until this Friday. And then the selected company will be announced next week. So I will see you all on Wednesday when we are talking to Martin Dober from Invest Detroit, which is going to be super fun. Okay. I will see you all later. Bye.